Welcome to Decode Your English, where we turn language challenges into stepping stones for your success. I'm thrilled you're here today. Have you ever shared your ideas in English only to feel ignored or misunderstood? Do you dread hearing "No, thank you" and wonder how to move forward with confidence? We'll explore how to deal with rejection in every corner of your English journey: job interviews, classroom feedback, social chats, and more, and build the resilience and fluency to thrive. Effing rejection in English learning. In English learning, rejection occurs whenever someone says no to your attempt, whether it's a teacher cutting you off, a partner declining practice, or an application turned down. In English learning, each no is not a verdict on you, but feedback pointing to what to improve next. Is first classroom rejection, extended narrative. First classroom rejection, extended narrative. Amina prepared for weeks drafting her 2-minute presentation about her hometown's traditions, practicing each sentence until it felt natural, and recording herself to perfect pronunciation. On the day of the presentation, her voice quivered as she recalled her rehearsals, but mid-sentence, she stalled on an unfamiliar phrase. The teacher interjected with a curt, "Let's move on." Amina's heart sank. She felt every iron. The room burned into her back as she slumped into her seat, the echo of that brief interruption amplifying in her mind. For hours after class, Amina replayed the moment. She felt embarrassment, disappointment, and a surge of self-doubt, wondering if she even belonged in that class. Yet in the quiet of her room, she made a pivotal choice to name her emotions in her journal. "I feel embarrassed, disappointed, angry, but I also feel a spark of determination." Writing those words gave her clarity. She realized that rejection was not an endpoint, but a beginning. She devised a micro-practice plan. Each morning, record a single English sentence on her phone. No pressure for perfection, just one honest, daily effort. Over 2 weeks, those recordings multiplied. 14 sentences captured her voice, growing steadier, more confident, each one a small victory. Key vocabulary and practice drills. Let's anchor 5 essential terms. Rejection, a no or refusal. Drill. Receiving rejection taught me where to improve. Resilience, bouncing back after a setback. Drill. My resilience grows with each new try. Mindset, your lens for interpreting events. Drill. A growth mindset sees mistakes as lessons. Feedback, detailed guidance for improvement. Drill. Asking for feedback is my superpower. Persistence, study, repeated effort. Drill. Persistence turned one sentence into many. Listening drill. Slow normal shadow. I applied to lead our study group, B, and they turned you down. Yes, but I asked why. B, what did you learn? That I need clearer examples. I practiced daily after that. Slow. Pause after each phrase to repeat aloud. Normal, match the recording's pace. Shadow, speak along, mirroring intonation. Notice how a reframes rejection into growth. Speaking challenge, turning no into growth. Rewrite and practice. I was rejected from the group. I received feedback, and I'll improve. They said no to my suggestion. Their feedback shows me how to refine it. Repeat each phrase multiple times, focusing on calm tone and steady rhythm. Effing rejection in English learning. In English learning, *** rejection occurs whenever someone says no to your attempt, whether it's a teacher cutting you off, a partner declining practice, or an application turned down. In English learning, each no is not a verdict on you, but feedback pointing to what to improve next. Mean as first classroom rejection, extended narrative first classroom rejection, extended narrative. Amina prepared for weeks drafting her 2-minute presentation about her hometown's traditions, practicing each sentence until it felt natural and recording herself to perfect pronunciation. On the day of the presentation, her voice quivered as she recalled her rehearsals, but mid-sentence, she stalled on an unfamiliar phrase. The teacher interjected with a curt, "Let's move on." Amina's heart sank. She felt every iron. The room burned into her back as she slumped into her seat, the echo of that brief interruption amplifying in her mind. For hours after class, Amina replayed the moment. She felt embarrassment, disappointment, and a surge of self-doubt, wondering if she even belonged in that class. Yet in the quiet of her room, she made a pivotal choice to name her emotions in her journal. "I feel embarrassed, disappointed, angry, but I also feel a spark of determination." Writing those words gave her clarity. She realized that rejection was not an endpoint, but a beginning. She devised a micro-practice plan. Each morning, record a single English sentence on her phone. No pressure for perfection, just one honest, daily effort. Over 2 weeks, those recordings multiplied. 14 sentences captured her voice, growing steadier, more confident, each one a small victory. Key vocabulary and practice drills. Let's anchor 5 essential terms. Rejection, a no or refusal. Drill. Receiving rejection taught me where to improve. Resilience, bouncing back after a setback. Drill. My resilience grows with each new try. Mindset, your lens for interpreting events. Drill. A growth mindset sees mistakes as lessons. Feedback, detailed guidance for improvement. Drill. Asking for feedback is my superpower. Persistence, study, repeated effort. Drill. Persistence turned one sentence into many. Listening drill. Slow normal shadow. I applied to lead our study group. B. And they turned you down. Yes. But I asked why. B. What did you learn? That I need clearer examples. I practiced daily. After that. Slow. Pause after each phrase to repeat aloud. Normal. Match the recording's pace. Shadow. Speak along. Mirroring intonation. Notice how a reframes rejection into growth. Speaking challenge. Turning no into growth. Rewrite. And practice. I was rejected from the group. Gives. I received feedback, and I'll improve. They said no to my suggestion. Gives. Their feedback shows me how to refine it. Repeat each phrase multiple times, focusing on calm tone and steady rhythm. Practical role plays. Navigating real rejection scenario. Imagine you're in a cafe practicing English with a partner. You ask, "Could you help me with this pronunciation?" And they respond, "I'm busy right now." Instead of taking it personally, you calmly say, "I understand. Thank you for your honesty." Perhaps later, this response shows respect and resilience. Roleplay variations. Classroom setting. You volunteer an answer. The teacher moves on. Gives practice replying, "No problem. Could I try again after class? Job interview. The interviewer says, we're proceeding with other candidates. Gives practice. Thank you for the opportunity. May I ask for one area to improve? Social invitation. A friend says, I can't join you today. Gives practice. I appreciate your reply. Let's plan another time. Repeat each scenario twice, focusing on calm tone and positive body language. Writing exercises. Crafting constructive responsory, a short email replying to a rejection. Notice. Include a thank you line for their consideration, a request for feedback, a closing statement expressing continued interest and growth mindset. Example, thank you for reviewing my application. I appreciate the opportunity. Could you share one suggestion for improvement? I remain keen to develop my skills and hope to reapply in the future. Rewrite this email twice, varying your tone from formal to friendly. Real-world resilience strategies. Daily feedback log. Create a simple chart with 3 columns. Date, rejection, feedback. Next improvement step. Peer support check-in. Schedule a weekly call with a study buddy to share experiences and encouragement. Resilience ritual. End each practice with a gratitude statement. I'm thankful for today's learning opportunity. Implement these strategies for 1 week and journal the impact on your confidence. Advanced real-world example. Maria, who pitched a new idea in her workplace. She suggested simple English workshops for colleagues. The manager responded gently, perhaps later. Budgets are tight now. Rather than feeling deflated, Maria saw opportunity. She asked, what timeline would work best? This follow-up showed initiative and turned a partial rejection into a planning conversation. Then there's Ravi, a student who posted a speaking attempt online and received mixed comments, some critical, some encouraging. He focused on the constructive notes, reached out privately for tips, and posted an improved version days later. His resilience led to a supportive community that offered regular feedback, habit-building techniques. Rejection reflection routine. At day's end, jot 1 rejection and 1 lesson. Feedback habit loop. When receiving feedback, pause, breathe. Then note 1 action step. Weekly resilience review. Each Sunday, review your feedback log and highlight 3 growth moments. Use simple trackers, a notebook or digital app. Mark progress visually to reinforce your resilience practice. Building a rejection playbook. Curate a personalized playbook that includes common rejection phrases and your prepared reframes. Go to vocabulary and mantras for each scenario. Links to resources, podcasts, articles, mentors for targeted practice. Review this playbook before or any high-stakes interaction to prime your mindset and language. Key takeaways. Rejection is feedback, not failure. Emotional awareness transforms pain into progress. Real-world practice cements resilience skills. Habits and routines sustain consistency through setbacks. A playbook equips you for future challenges. Asterisk. Final reflection prompt. Write a letter to your future self. 6 months ahead. Describe how you handled rejections, the skills you honed, and the confidence you gained. Seal it and set a calendar reminder to read it later. Why rejection hurts. When someone says no to your request, idea, or effort, it doesn't just end the conversation, it sends a shock through your system. Your chest tightens, your thoughts race, and for a moment, you feel small, The reaction isn't a sign of weakness. It's hardwired into your brain hundreds of thousands of years ago. Being excluded from the group was a life or death threat. Modern rejection taps into that same survival alarm. Think back to your last experience of rejection. Perhaps you asked a teacher for extra help and they said, "Not now." Maybe you reached out to a language partner and got no reply. That momentary silence or brief sorry, "I can't," stung more than you expected. You might have felt your cheeks heat, your mind fill with self-criticism, and your motivation evaporate. Neuroscience shows that social pain like rejection activates the same areas of the brain as physical pain. It floods your body with cortisol, making you feel stressed and vulnerable. Recognizing this truth can set you free. The next time you feel the rush of hurt, remind yourself it's just a hormonal reaction, not a judgment on your worth or ability. To illustrate, let's explore 3 real-life stories. 1. Classroom criticism. Jin was praised for her clear pronunciation until one day her teacher stopped her mid-sentence, saying, "Let's try something simpler." Jin's heart sank. That gentle redirection felt like a public rejection. In the days that followed, Jin avoided volunteering in class, her progress stalled. By mapping her emotional response, Jin discovered a pattern. Every correction felt personal because it echoed childhood fears of failure. Once she saw this loop, she practiced neutralizing the feedback. Instead of hearing "you're wrong," she began hearing "here's your next area to improve." Each time she reframed it, the cortisol rushed, and her confidence grew. 2. Social exclusion. Sarah organized an online conversation group and invited 5 classmates. 3 RSVP'd, 1 declined, and 1 never responded. Sarah replayed her invitation in her mind, convinced she'd offered a bad topic or sounded uninteresting. She felt rejected and postponed the group twice. Research on social rejection shows that ambiguous silence, no reply, is often more painful than a clear refusal. To overcome this, Sarah learned to seek clarity. She sent a quick follow-up message. "No worries if you can't make it. Let me know if another time suits you." By asking for specific feedback, she turned silence into information, reducing her stress and improving future invitations. 3. Professional denial. After 3 rounds of interviews, Raj received an email. "We've chosen another candidate. Thank you for your time." He felt a sinking heart and questioned his entire career path. Yet Raj used one simple technique. He bookmarked the email, then sent a polite gratitude note asking for 1 area to develop. The hiring manager replied with concise guidance on communication style. Raj incorporated that advice into his next interview, which he aced. These stories share a common thread. Each person honored their emotional reaction, then chose a small action, reframing feedback or seeking clarity to regain control. Interactive drill. Recognize and name your reaction. Pause here and think of your most recent rejection. In the space below, write a single line. "I felt underscore 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 when I heard underscore 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 underscore." Fill in the blanks with your emotion and the trigger. Naming the feeling: anger, shame, confusion automatically reduces its intensity by 30% in your brain. This simple exercise rewires your response from panic to curiosity. Key insight: rejection sting is biological. Naming it and reframing Feedback shifts your brain from alarm mode to learning mode. When the sting of rejection lands, your body reacts instantly, cheeks flush, chest tightens, thoughts spin out of control. But underneath these physical sensations lies a powerful truth. You have the ability to steer your mind back toward calm and clarity. In this section, we'll explore proven techniques to harness that raw emotion, transform it into insight, and step confidently into your next attempt. First, notice how naming an emotion can diffuse its intensity. The moment you recognize I feel embarrassed or I feel frustrated, you create distance between yourself and that feeling. Try it now. Silently think back to your last encounter with rejection as the emotion surfaces. Pause and whisper either loud or in your mind, I am feeling disappointed. That simple act activates your prefrontal cortex, the reasoning part of your brain, and calms the amygdala, the alarm center. Next, challenge the negative story you're telling yourself. If your inner voice says, I'm not good enough, gently ask, what evidence supports that? You might recall a moment when you spoke clearly, a short conversation, or remember positive feedback on an email you wrote. Listing these successes even privately in a journal shifts your perspective from failure to balance. A powerful companion to this practice is the double standard question. Imagine a friend in your shoes, receiving the same feedback. What would you tell them? Likely, you'd encourage them. You've improved so much already, keep going. That compassionate voice is yours too. Write a brief letter to yourself. Dear friend, I know being told no hurts. Remember how far you've come and how this feedback can guide you. Reading this note in moments of doubt offers a gentle reminder that you deserve the same kindness you extend to others. Self-compassion gestures further reinforce your calm. Place a hand over your heart. Take a deep breath and say, it's okay to feel hurt. I'm growing stronger with each challenge. This physical act signals safety to your nervous system, releasing oxytocin, sometimes called the love hormone, which counteracts the stress response. Now let's build a resilient inner script with affirmations. Choose one phrase that resonates, such as every setback guides me forward, or I learn and adapt with each challenge. Write it on a sticky note and place it on your mirror or desk. Each time you see it, take a moment to inhale deeply. Read the phrase aloud with conviction and let its meaning settle in your mind. Over days of repetition, this affirmation becomes a default response when rejection rises, automatically nudging you toward learning rather than despair. To integrate these techniques into your listening practice, try a shadow listening drill focused on emotional resilience. Find a short audio clip, perhaps 30 seconds, of a speaker offering empathetic support after someone shares a disappointment. For example, I'm sorry you're feeling let down. Your feelings are valid, and this moment doesn't define your journey. Listen once for meaning, then again for tone, noting the gentle rise and fall in the speaker's voice. Finally, shadows speak along, match their words and softness of tone. By embodying that calm response, you train your own voice to react with compassion the next time you hear no. Putting it all together, here's a 5-step flow you can use immediately after any rejection. Pause and breathe, placing a hand on your chest. Name the emotion. I feel frustrated or I feel embarrassed. Counter the negative thought with evidence. I have succeeded in recordings before. Offer yourself compassion as you would a friend. Speak or write your chosen affirmation aloud. Each step rewires your brain's pathway from stress to growth. In the moments after rejection, you might still feel tension or even tears. That's natural. Allow yourself to experience the emotion fully, then guide it with these cognitive tools. Over time, they become second nature. Rejection becomes less of a wall and more of a signpost showing exactly where to focus your next effort. As you refine these techniques, you'll notice a shift. You no longer dread feedback, but welcome it as a chance to practice your resilience toolkit. Each no becomes less painful and more purposeful. In our next section, we'll move into hands-on practice, real dialogues, writing exercises, and everyday strategies to solidify this emotional regulation and carry it seamlessly into every English-speaking scenario you face. Stay with me for those practical drills ahead. When the sting of rejection lands, your body reacts with tension, cheeks flush, chest tightens. That's race. Beneath these reactions lies an opportunity. You can guide your mind from distress back to calm and learning. Here are 5 powerful techniques. Emotion labeling. Pause and name your feeling. I feel disappointed, or I feel embarrassed. This simple act shifts brain activity from the reactive amygdala to the reasoning prefrontal cortex, reducing emotional intensity. Cognitive reframing. Challenge negative thoughts by asking, what evidence supports this? Balance your self-doubt with concrete successes. Past presentations given well. Kind feedback received, restoring perspective. Double standard question. Imagine a friend in your situation. What would you tell them? Write a brief letter to yourself with that same compassion. Dear friend, rejection teaches us where to grow. Remember your progress. Self-compassion gestures. Place a hand on your heart. Breathe deeply and say, it's okay to feel hurt. I'm learning. This gentle touch releases oxytocin, counteracting the stress response. Affirmations and priming. Choose a phrase like, every setback guides me forward. Write it on a sticky note and place it where you practice. Read it aloud daily to embed a growth-oriented response to feedback. Shadow listening drill. Find a short clip of empathetic support after a disappointment. I'm sorry you're feeling this way. Your feelings are valid. Listen for tone. Then shadow speak along, matching not just words, but gentle vocal quality. 5-step resilience flow. Pause and breathe with a hand on your chest. Name the primary emotion. Reframe the negative thought with evidence. Offer self-compassion as you would a friend. Speak or write your chosen affirmation. Practice this flow after any no. Over time, you'll rewire your response from stress to growth. Welcoming feedback as a roadmap rather than a roadblock. When the sting of rejection lands, your body reacts with tension, cheeks flush, chest tightens. That's race. Beneath these reactions lies an opportunity. You can guide your mind from distress back to calm and learning. First, pause and name your feeling. I feel disappointed, or I feel embarrassed. Simply labeling that emotion shifts your brain's activity from the reactive alarm center to the reasoning part, reducing its intensity. Next, challenge any negative story in your mind. If you catch yourself thinking, I'm not good enough, ask, what evidence supports that? Recall concrete successes or presentation that went well, encouraging feedback. or a conversation you handled confidently. Balancing those positives against your doubt restores perspective. Imagine a friend in your situation and ask, "What would I tell them?" You'd likely offer encouragement. "You've improved so much, already, keep going." Now turn that same compassion inward. Write a short note to yourself. "Dear friend, rejection shows me exactly where to grow. Remember how far you've come." Reading this when you're feeling low reminds you that you deserve kindness. Another powerful practice is self-compassion gestures. Place a hand over your heart. Take a slow, deep breath and say, "It's okay to feel hurt. I'm learning and growing." This simple touch releases oxytocin, the calm hormone, helping you move past the stress response. To build a resilient inner voice. Create a personal affirmation, perhaps "Every setback guides my next step," or "I learn and adapt with each challenge." Write it on a sticky note and place it where you practice: your mirror, desk, or phone. Each time you read it aloud, you reinforce a growth-oriented response to feedback. You can also practice shadow listening to absorb calm, supportive tones. Find a short clip. 30 seconds is enough where someone speaks kindly after disappointment. For example, "I'm sorry you're feeling discouraged. Your effort shows courage." Listen for the warmth and gentleness, then speak along with the recording, matching not only the words but the tone. By embodying that voice, you prime your own reactions to be more soothing when rejection rises. Finally, after any moment of no, go through this 5-step flow. Pause and place a hand on your chest. Breathing deeply, name the emotion you feel. Reframe the negative thought by listing one proof of past success. Offer yourself self-compassion as you would a friend. Speak or write your chosen affirmation aloud. Practice this sequence each time rejection strikes. Over days and weeks, you will rewire your response from panic to purposeful learning, welcoming feedback as a roadmap rather than a roadblock. After applying these role plays and writing exercises, it's time to deepen your learning through structured reflection and a clear roadmap forward. Begin by revisiting your journal entries from this part. Reread the emotion labels you recorded and the cognitive reframes you practiced. Notice any shifts in language from "I failed" to "I learned," and celebrate each reframed thought as evidence of your growth. Wing Resilience. Next, undertake a 7-day emotional resilience challenge. Each evening, jot one rejection or tough feedback you encountered, paired with one concrete step you took to reframe or respond constructively. At the end of the week, review the list and highlight 3 moments when criticism truly fueled improvement. These moments are your proofs of progress. Keep them visible as reminders that feedback drives growth. To strengthen social support, set up a peer resilience partnership. Reach out to a classmate or language friend, share your challenge insights, and commit to a weekly check-in. In each meeting, share one rejection story, swap reframing techniques, and offer mutual encouragement. This accountability loop not only reinforces your own practice, but builds a community that normalizes feedback and rejection as common, conquerable experiences. Consolidate your learning by crafting a short perso ****** null rejection reflection of 150 to 200 words. Describe one memorable rejection and your initial emotional reaction, the cognitive technique that shifted your perspective, the practical response you employed. At the end of this reflection, jot 3 affirmations, your own resilient phrases to carry into future challenges. Finally, preview part 3, rejection in language learning. We'll explore how to handle peer corrections, grammar feedback, and public speaking critiques, all within the context of mastering English. You'll learn targeted reframes for common language learning rejections and discover strategies to transform every correction into a catalyst for fluency. After applying these role plays and writing exercises, it's time to deepen your learning through structured reflection and a clear roadmap forward. Begin by revisiting your journal entries from this part. Reread the emotion labels you recorded and the cognitive reframes you practiced. Notice any shifts in language from I failed to I learned, and celebrate each reframed thought as evidence of your growth. Wing Resilience. Next, undertake a 7-day emotional resilience challenge. Each evening, jot 1 rejection or tough feedback you encountered, paired with 1 concrete step you took to reframe or respond constructively. At the end of the week, review the list and highlight 3 moments when criticism truly fueled improvement. These moments are your proofs of progress. Keep them visible as reminders that feedback drives growth. To strengthen social support, set up a peer resilience partnership. Reach out to a classmate or language friend, share your challenge insights, and commit to a weekly check-in. In each meeting, share 1 rejection story, swap reframing techniques, and offer mutual encouragement. This accountability loop not only reinforces your own practice, but builds a community that normalizes feedback and rejection as common, conquerable experiences. Consolidate your learning by crafting a short perso ***** null rejection reflection of 150 to 200 words. Describe 1 memorable rejection and your initial emotional reaction, the cognitive technique that shifted your perspective, the practical response you employed. At the end of this reflection, jot 3 affirmations, your own resilient phrases to carry into future challenges. Finally, preview part 3, rejection in language learning. We'll explore how to handle peer corrections, grammar feedback, and public speaking critiques, all within the context of mastering English. You'll learn targeted reframes for common language learning rejections and discover strategies to transform every correction into a catalyst for fluency. When every correction feels like a personal dismissal, your mindset can become your greatest ally or your harshest critic. In this section, we explore how to shift from fixed thoughts, "I always make mistakes," to growth-oriented beliefs that transform feedback into fuel for fluency. Adopting a growth lens. What if each underlined error were a stepping stone rather than a stumbling block? Embrace the idea that language is a skill, not an innate talent. Remind yourself, every mistake is proof that I'm stretching my abilities. Write this phrase where you'll see it, on your notebook cover, your computer screen, or a sticky note by your mirror. The power of curiosity. Instead of asking, "Why did I fail to say this correctly?" shift to "What led me to say it this way?" Curiosity removes judgment. After a peer corrects you, mentally list 3 observations: the exact pronunciation you used, the word you intended, and any related words you know. This investigative stance transforms discomfort into discovery, Visualization practice. Close your eyes and replay a recent correction in slow motion. Notice the sensations, your breath, your posture. The correction phrase. Now imagine responding with calm professionalism, asterisk smiling, acknowledging the feedback, and integrating it immediately. Visual rehearsal prepares your mind to react with poise when real corrections rise. Mantra of continuous improvement. A personal motto. I learn and grow each time I speak, and repeat it 5 times before study sessions. Feel the words in your chest, grounding you in purpose. This mantra becomes an anchor in moments of doubt, pulling you back from spirals of self-criticism. Self-talk. To help listen to your inner dialogue after a correction. Does it say, "I'm so stupid," or "I can't do this"? Gently interrupt negative self-talk by asking, "Is this thought 100% true?" Replace it with a balanced statement, "I'm learning, and this correction helps me improve." Repeat the balanced thought until it feels more natural than the original critique. Peer affirmation ritual. Partner with a study buddy to exchange not only corrections, but also affirmations. After each feedback session, share one strength you noticed in the other's English word choice, pronunciation, or confidence. This reciprocal recognition balances critique with encouragement, reinforcing a supportive learning environment. Anchoring progress with milestones. Set micro goals tied to common corrections. 5 accurate uses of past simple this week, or flawless article usage in 3 sentences today. Track these milestones visually. Use check marks, stars, or progress bars. Seeing tangible wins counters the weight of every new correction and builds momentum toward the next level of fluency. Reflective dialogue exercise. Record a short exchange with yourself. You voice a corrected sentence, then respond as your own coach. Learner: "I go to the cinema yesterday." Coach: "Great effort." Let's say, "I went to the cinema yesterday." Try it now. Play it back and note the supportive coaching tone. Over time, internalize that voice and let it guide your self-correction gently. By integrating these mindset strategies, growth, focus, curiosity, visualization, mantras, self-talk tuning, peer affirmation, milestone tracking, and reflective coaching, you'll reshape the way you encounter every red mark or gentle correction. Instead of shrinking back, you'll stand taller, knowing each piece of feedback is a compass pointing you toward mastery. Bring these mindset tools into real dialogues and writing tasks. Role plays for real dialogues. Classroom correction. A pair corrects your article usage. Respond with calm curiosity. "Thank you for the correction. Could you explain why the article is needed?" Online feedback. You receive a critical comment on your spoken post. "Your pronunciation isn't clear." Reply with openness. "I appreciate your feedback. Which words should I focus on? And can you model them?" Professional setting. An interviewer says, "We've chosen another candidate." Respond resiliently. "Thank you for considering me. May I ask which skill you'd recommend I develop most?" Writing exercises. Polite reply to rejection. Draft an email acknowledging a declined proposal. Include gratitude. Ask for one improvement tip, and express ongoing interest. Feedback reflection journal. Write a short entry summarizing one correction you received, the emotion it triggered, and the growth insight you gained. Everyday resilience strategies. Daily reflection. End each day by noting one piece of feedback in your reframed response in a journal. Milestone tracking. Use a simple chart to mark each time you practice a corrected form or imply a new mindset technique. Peer support. Schedule weekly check-ins with a study buddy to share rejections and affirm each other's progress. These practical applications embed your mindset strategies into everyday learning, transforming each correction into a catalyst for fluency. Reflection and next steps. Know, pause, and reflect. Which mindset technique resonated most? How did applying that tool change your response to feedback? What role play or writing exercise will you commit to this week? Professional rejection and career fluency. When an email closes your job application or a hiring manager passes you over, it can feel like your skills and your confidence are undercut. Yet each professional no is also a chance to refine your message, sharpen your language, and present your strengths more convincingly. Defining career rejection in English contexts. Professional rejection often arrives as a brief notification, "We have chosen another candidate," or as indirect feedback, "We were impressed, but we needed more experience." In each case, the language used carries clues about where to focus. Viewing these messages as data rather than verdicts shifts your mindset from setback to strategy. Case study. Overcoming multiple interview rejections. Meet Jackson, who applied for 3 teaching assistant positions. Each time, the response was polite but firm. "We appreciate your application. However, we selected another candidate." Jackson's initial reaction was discouragement. To regain momentum, he reviewed each job description and customized his cover letters, emphasizing the exact skills requested. He also recorded his mock interview responses, practicing concise, rule-specific terminology. On his 4th application, his tailored language and confident delivery earned him the position. Key vocabulary and practice. Say application. You're submitted. Resume and cover letter. Drill. I tailor each application to the job description. Candidate. A person being considered for role. Drill. As a candidate, I showcase my most relevant skills. Interview. A formal conversation to assess fit. Drill. I prepare for interviews by practicing common questions. Feedback. Information on why you were not selected. Drill. I request feedback to strengthen future applications. Double quotes follow dash up. A courtesy message after an interview. Drill. A prompt follow-up email demonstrates professionalism. Listening. Drill. Slow normal shadow HR manager. We were impressed by your background, but we've chosen a candidate with more experience in event coordination. Thank you for your consideration. Could you please share one area where I might gain more experience? Slow. Pause after each phrase and repeat for clarity. Normal. Match the speaker's pace and polite tone. Shadow. Speak along with the recording, mirroring both words and courteous. Demeanor. Speaking challenge. Professional reframing. Convert these rejection statements into strategic responses. We selected another candidate. Gives thank you for letting me know. May I ask which skill area I can strengthen? We need more experience. Asterisk. Gives I appreciate the feedback. Could you recommend a project or resource to build that experience? Practice speaking each version until your tone is both respectful and assured. Reflection. Journal. Prompt recall a recent job application or networking outreach. that did not yield the result you wanted. Write the exact wording of the rejection, your initial emotional reaction, one actionable insight you can apply to your next professional interaction. Micro action plan: select one professional skill interview fluency, cover letter language, or follow-up phrasing. Over the next 5 days, record or write one improved version each day. Compare your iterations and note how each change increases your confidence. Mindset strategies for professional resilience after facing professional rejection. Maintaining confidence requires intentional mindset practices. Here are 4 strategies to carry you through workplace setbacks. 1. Normalize rejection as process. Understand that every professional path includes no's. Remind yourself, even top executives were turned down early in their careers. This perspective reframes rejection from a personal failure to an expected step on the journey. 2. Future-oriented thinking. Shift focus from past outcomes to future possibilities. After a rejection, ask yourself, what new opportunity will this lead me to next? Write down to potential paths or roles you could pursue with your enhanced skills. 3. Strengths reaffirmation. Create a list of your core competencies and past successes. After hearing a no, review this list. Say aloud, my research analysis is strong, and my communication skills continue to grow. Reinforcing your strengths bolsters resilience. 4. Action feedback cycle. Treat each rejection as a data point. Develop a 1-minute summary of what I tried, what I learned, and what I'll do next. Speaking this summary hardens the habit of seeking insight rather than dwelling on disappointment. Reflective exercise. At the end of each workday this week, journal one professional interaction, successful or not, and apply the future-oriented thinking prompt. This experience will guide me toward underscore 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 underscore. Over days, you'll build a forward momentum that overshadows any single rejection. Social rejection and conversational confidence. When an invitation goes unanswered, a suggestion is brushed aside, or small talk falls flat, it can feel like a personal dismissal, especially in a new language. Social rejection triggers doubt. Was my English unclear? Am I too awkward? Part 5 shows you how to turn these moments into opportunities to connect more confidently. Defining social rejection in everyday English semidiums. Rejection is subtle. A delayed reply, a polite maybe next time, or in the change of subject. These interactions aren't judgments on your worth, but invitations to adapt your conversational approach. Recognizing the difference sets the stage for stronger, more authentic connections. Learner's story. Emma's group chat's new Bemer created her study group chat on her messaging app. Excited to practice English with peers, she posted a simple question. What did you learn today? Hours passed without replies. Doubt crept in. Was her English too basic? Embarrassed, she hesitated before posting again. That evening, Emma reframed her experience. Instead of seeing silence as rejection, she viewed it as an opportunity to try a different approach. The next day, she sent a short audio message. Hi everyone. Today I learned the word achieve. How about you? Within minutes, peers responded, leading to a lively mini discussion. By choosing voice over text, Emma discovered a more engaging way to connect key vocabulary and practice Strill's invitation. A request to join or participate. Practice. Thank you for the invitation. I'd love to join. Refusal. A polite no. Practice. I understand your refusal. Maybe. Another time. Engagement. Active participation in conversation. Practice. Your question sparked great engagement today. Icebreaker. A simple opening topic. Practice. My icebreaker question is, what's your favorite book? Follow up, checking. Back after an initial attempt. Practice. Following up on yesterday's topic, did anyone try the exercise? Listening drill slow normal shadow. Would you like to join our study session tomorrow? B. I'm a bit busy. Sorry. No problem maybe. Next week. Slow, pause, and repeat each line. Normal. Match the pace and polite tone. Shadow. Speak along. Imitating rhythm and courtesy. Speaking challenge. Polite persistence convert these scenarios into confident responses. I'm busy. Today gives I understand. Would Thursday afternoon work better for you? No reply in group chat. Send a brief follow-up. Just checking if you saw my message. Any thoughts? Practice delivering each with a friendly tone and clear articulation. Reflection. Journal prompt. Recall a social interaction where you felt ignored or brushed off. Write what was said or not said. How did it make you feel? What small action could you take to re-engage or clarify? Micro action plan. Who's one social scenario group chat? Small talk in class. Or joining a new conversation. For the next 3 days, practice one opening line or follow-up question each day. Note which version received the best response and why. Mindset strategies for social resiliency after any social setback. Carry these strategies into your next interaction. Embrace imperfection. Everyone misses their word or loses their place. View each hiccup as a natural part of conversation, not as a reflection of your value. Curiosity first. Focus on asking engaging questions. People love sharing their viewpoints. Curiosity shifts the spotlight off your performance and onto genuine interest. Celebrate small wins. Did someone smile at your joke? Reply. A nod or a quick emoji counts. Keep a mental list of these micro successes to counterbalance any silence. Adaptive communication. If text feels too formal, try an audio note. If audio goes unanswered, switch to a one-sentence text. Flexibility demonstrates both persistence and consideration. Gratitude reminders. After each social exchange, positive or neutral, pause and think. I'm grateful I reached out. This practice fosters courage to continue connecting. Reflective dialogue. Record a brief self-conversation. Would you like to join my chat discussion? You as coach. Great invitation. Notice your clear tone. Keep it up. Review the recording to internalize supportive self-feedback. By blending these practices, defining social rejection. Skill drills, reflective prompts, and mindset strategies will transform every no into a step toward deeper, more confident connections in English. Public speaking and stage fright. When you stand before an audience, classmates, colleagues, or online viewers, the silence can feel deafening. Your palms sweat, your voice shakes, and your mind races. This fear, known as stage fright, is a form of social rejection. The worry that your words won't connect or that you'll stumble under scrutiny. Yet mastering public speaking builds not just fluency, but courage. Defining stage fright in English. Context stage fright rises from self-consciousness and high stakes. In English learning, it often shows as a racing heart before presentation, stammering during introductions, or avoiding speaking opportunities altogether. Recognizing stage fright as a natural reaction, not a flaw, empowers you to step into the spotlight anyway. Learner's story. Daniel's first classroom presentation, Dane prepared a 5-minute talk on his favorite hobby. He practiced before the mirror and recorded himself confidently. When the day came, his throat went dry. He rushed through the first sentence, skipped key points, and ended abruptly. His classmates clapped politely, but Daniel felt crushed. He vowed never to present again. That evening, Daniel reframed the experience in his journal. I felt terrified, but I learned how my pace and breathing need work. He decided on micro-rehearsals, practicing the opening sentence 3 times daily with deep breaths and intentional pauses. Within 1 week, he delivered a second mini presentation, this time holding his audience's attention and pausing for emphasis. Daniel's stage fright diminished as his fluency and confidence grew. Key vocabulary and practice drill stage fright. Anxiety about public speaking. Practice. Stage fright motivates me to prepare thoroughly. Audience. The listeners or viewers. Practice. I engage the audience with eye contact. Pause. A brief stop for effect or breath. Practice. I use pauses to emphasize key points. Projection. Speaking loudly and clearly. Practice. I project my voice so the whole room can hear me. Pacing. The speed of speech. Practice. Moderate pacing helps my audience follow my ideas. Listening drill slow normal shadow speaker. Good morning, everyone. Pause. Thank you for being here. Today, I will share 3 tips for effective spoken English. Slow. Pause and repeat each phrase. Normal. Match the speaker's rhythm and volume. Shadow. Speak along, focusing on breath control and clear articulation. Speaking challenge. Structured opening rehearse this introduction aloud until you can deliver it smoothly with confidence. Pauses. Hello, I'm your name. Thank you for this opportunity. My topic today is your topic. Let's begin. Practice 5 times, varying your tone from warm to energetic. Reflection journal prompt. Describe your feelings before and after a recent spoken English activity. Then write, what breathing or pacing adjustment can I make next time? Which moment felt most confident? And why? Micro action plan. Choose one aspect. Pauses, projection, or pacing and practice it in a 1-minute recording each day for 5 days. Compare recordings to know improvements. And set strategies for public speaking resilience. Overcoming stage fright starts in the mind. These strategies help you maintain calm, focus, and confidence before and during any presentation. Visualization. For success before stepping on stage, close your eyes and imagine delivering your talk with ease. See yourself breathing steadily, making eye contact, and receiving warm nods. Visual rehearsal primes your brain for the real event, reducing anxiety and increasing certainty. Power poses and physical anchor. Stand for 2 minutes in a confident posture, feet hip width apart. Hands on hips or lifted in a V. This power pose raises testosterone and lowers cortisol, preparing your body for a poised performance. Use this pose backstage or before dialing into an online meeting. Deep breathing center and practice box breathing. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. 3 complete cycles calm your nervous system and anchor your focus on the present moment rather than what could go wrong. Affirmation activation. Select a phrase like I speak with clarity and courage. Repeat it aloud 3 times just before your introduction. This affirmation programs your mind to inhabit a confident state while you speak. Audience connection mindset shift from self-focus to audience focus. Remind yourself, I'm here to share value. When you view listeners as partners in learning, your nervous energy transforms into genuine engagement. Power of small pause. Accept that silence is your ally. Between points, pause briefly 2 to 3 seconds. This gives your audience time to absorb and gives you a moment to reset and maintain control of pace. Role plays and drills for public speaking mastery. Handling tough questions. Practice this exchange. Audience, can you explain why the statistic matters? That's a great question. The statistic highlights the urgency of clear communication in English because it shows how often misunderstandings occur in critical contexts. Would you like an example? Repeat until you can deliver clear, concise answers without rushing. Managing interruptions. Role play being interrupted mid-sentence. Audience member, sorry to interrupt, but certainly thank you for your input. Please share your thought. And then I'll continue with my next point. Practicing respectful acknowledgement helps you stay poised under interruption. Impromptu speech drill. Draw 3 random topics: current event, personal hobby, or a hypothetical scenario and give a 1-minute talk on each with no preparation. Focus on clarity, pacing, and breathing. Record and review to identify areas for improvement. Closing strong. Rehearse a concise conclusion. In summary, these 3 strategies: visualization, power poses, and audience connection will strengthen your public speaking fluency. Thank you for your attention. I welcome any questions. Practice delivering this closing with warmth and assurance. Writing reflection exercise after a speaking session. Write 100 words about what went well. What challenged you? And your plan for the next rehearsal. This reflection cements learning and guides your progress. Romantic rejection and emotional expression. When you gather the courage to express your feelings in English, perhaps asking someone out or declaring affection, their response can feel like the most significant rejection of all. Ghosting, polite declines, or unreturned messages may trigger self-doubt and heartache. In this part, you'll learn to navigate romantic no's with grace, empathy, and fluent English. Defining romantic rejection in language learning. Romantic rejection often comes as a softly spoken, I'm not ready, an unreciprocated text, or a change in tone. While deeply personal, each response carries linguistic clues and emotional cues. Decoding these cues empowers you to respond respectfully and maintain your self-worth. Learner's story. Aisha's unreturned message. Isha mustered English words to invite a colleague to coffee. Would you like to grab coffee sometime? Days passed without reply. She felt embarrassed, questioning her choice of words and her accent. Instead of retreating, Aisha reframed the silence as uncertainty, not refusal. She followed up gently. Hope you're well, just checking if you saw my invitation. Her colleague apologized and suggested lunch the next week. I shows polite persistence open the door. Key vocabulary and practice drills invitation. A request to spend time together. Practice. I'd be honored if you join me for coffee. Decline. A gentle refusal. Practice. I appreciate your invitation, but I'm not available this week. Ghosting. Ceasing contact without explanation. Practice. When I'm ghosted, I give space and move forward. Follow up checking back after silence. Practice. I'm just following up on my previous message. Closure. Reaching a mutual understanding. Practice. Thank you for your honesty. I understand. Asterisk listening drill slow murmur shadow you. Would you like to have dinner with me? Them. Thank you. But I don't think that's a good idea. Slow. Repeat each line with pauses. Normal. Match natural pace. Shadow. Speak along. Focusing on tone and phrasing. Speaking challenge. Responding with gracecraft and practice these responses. I understand. Thank you for your honesty. And I wish you all the best. No worries. I appreciate your clarity. Take care. Repeat each until delivery feels sincere and composed. Reflection journal prompt. Recall a time your romantic invitation or expression wasn't reciprocated. Write the exact words you used and their response, your emotional reaction. One respectful follow-up line you could use for closure. Micro action plan over the next 3 days. Practice crafting polite invitation and decline phrases in English. Record yourself delivering each, and choose one to refine until it feels natural. Online feedback and digital rejection in our hyper-connected world. Rejection can come in the form of no likes, no comments, or harsh digital critiques, whether on social media, forums, or learning platforms. These virtual responses can cut just as deep as face-to-face no's. In Part 8, you'll learn to decode online signals, respond with professionalism, and maintain your confidence behind the screen. Defining digital rejection. Digital rejection appears as unacknowledged posts, critical comments, or low engagement. And like in-person cues, online feedback often lacks tone and context, making it easy to misinterpret. Recognizing the difference between silent algorithms and personal dismissal is the first step to raise. Elite digital presence. Case study. Viral post backfired. Uploaded a short speaking video to his language group, expecting supportive feedback. Instead, he received a few curt corrections and many no reactions. His confidence wavered, and he considered deleting the post. Instead, Raj analyzed the comments, pinpointing one consistent pronunciation note. He recorded a follow-up, explaining his practice plan, thanked critics, and reposted. His transparency invited hundreds of supportive responses and new learning partners. Key vocabulary and practice drills engagement, likes, comments, and shares online. Practice. I create content that drives positive engagement. Critique. Constructive or harsh feedback. Practice. I welcome critique that helps me improve. Algorithm. The system deciding post visibility. Practice. Understanding the algorithm helps me optimize my posts. Moderation. Filtering or removing content. Practice. I use moderation tools to maintain a safe learning community. Response template. A pre-written reply format. Practice. I keep a response template for common critiques. Listening. Drill slow normal shadow commenter. Your pronunciation still needs work on the TH sound. You. Thank you for pointing that out. Could you recommend a practice tip or resource for TH sounds? Slow. Repeat each line slowly and clearly. Normal. Much conversational pace. Shadow. Speak along. Practicing polite inquiry. Speaking challenge. Professional online replace compose and practice these responses. Thanks for your feedback. I'll practice the TH sound using tongue placement exercises. I appreciate your honesty. Do you have a favorite resource for pronunciation drills? Deliver each reply aloud until it feels genuine and courteous. Reflection journal. Prompt: think of a time your online post received fewer reactions than you'd hoped, or a critical comment. Write the exact feedback or silence you experienced. Your immediate emotion. One constructive question or follow-up you could post in response. Micro action plan over the next week. Share one piece of content, a voice note, short video, or written. Practice. After posting, track engagement and reply to every comment, thanking supporters and asking follow-up questions to critics. Mindset strategies for digital resilience. Separate metrics from meaning. Remember that, like sand, comments reflect many factors beyond your control. Algorithms and timing often dictate engagement. Focus on the learning, not just the numbers. Platform perspective. Each platform has its own culture. A post that flops on one site may flourish on another. Experiment and adapt. Try different formats, times, or hashtags. Constructive filtering. Distinguish between helpful critique and unproductive negativity. Think constructive commenters and consider muting or blocking abusive voices. Community building. Engage actively with others' posts. Genuine engagement often reciprocates and builds supportive networks, increasing your sense of belonging. Digital well-being ritual. Set specific times for posting and reviewing feedback. Outside those windows, step away from notifications to protect your focus and mental health. Reflective dialogue. Record yourself reading a tough comment, then respond as a coach. I appreciate your viewpoint. Here's how I plan to address it. Listening to your composed reply trains your mind to handle digital critique calmly. By mastering these digital resilience tools, decoding online signals, crafting thoughtful replies, and maintaining healthy boundaries, you'll transform silent scrolls and critical comments into pathways for growth, turning rejection into opportunity. What if every no you encounter became the seed of a better idea? In part 9, you'll learn to pivot from disappointment to curiosity, transforming rejection into a springboard for innovation in your English learning and beyond. Defining opportunity mindset. After rejection often closes one door, it opens another. Viewing no as narrowed focus rather than failure reframes setbacks as invitations to explore new paths. This opportunity mindset shifts your language from I failed to I discovered. Case study. Entrepreneurs rejected pitch. Sophia pitched her startup idea in English to investors. They responded, "This concept isn't market ready." Instead of giving up, Sophia asked, "What aspects need refinement?" Their feedback pointed to a simpler target audience. She retooled her pitch, focusing on clear, concise language and a narrower demographic. When she presented again, the investors not only approved her plan, but praised her adaptability, key vocabulary, and practice drills. Pivot to change direction strategically. Practice. After rejection, I pivot by refining my next attempt. Innovation. creating something new or improved. Practice. Rejection inspires my innovation. Curiosity. Desire to learn or explore. Practice. I approach rejection with curiosity, not fear. Resilience. Recovering and growing after setbacks. Practice. My resilience turns each no into a next step. Experimentation. Trying new methods or ideas. Practice. I experiment with language until I find what works. Listening drill. Slow normal shadow investor. We're not ready to fund this version of your proposal. Entrepreneur. Thank you for your insights. Could you suggest one area I should experiment with? Slow. Repeat each line carefully. Normal. Match the speaker's professional tone. Shadow. Speak along. Modeling calm inquiry. Speaking challenge. Opportunity response. Practice reframing these statements. They said no to my idea. Gives their feedback pointed me to a clearer focus. Thank you. My draft was rejected. Gives I will experiment with this new approach and share the results. Repeat each response until you can deliver it with genuine curiosity and confidence. Reflection journal prompt. Think of a rejection you faced: professional, social, or creative. Write the original no you received. The most useful insight that came from it. One experimental step you will take next. Micro action plan. Choose a recent rejection and identify two alternative approaches to try over the next 5 days. Implement one approach per day in short practice sessions, noting which yields the best learning outcome. Mindset strategies for opportunity-oriented growth. Reframe failures as feedback. Consciously replace I fail ed with I learned. Each no becomes data, guiding your next experiment. Embrace small experiments. Break your response into micro-tests. One sentence tweak, one new audience, one alternative phrasing. Small wins build toward big breakthroughs. Curiosity-driven questions. When never rejected, ask what if. For example, what if I try a different tone? Or what if I target a new group? These questions spark creative solutions. Celebrate iterations. Track each experimental version as a milestone. Mark your progress chart each time you try a new approach, regardless of outcome. Community brainstorming. Share your rejection and proposed experiments with peers. Collective ideas often uncover opportunities you hadn't considered. Reflective dialogue exercise. Record yourself summarizing a rejection and your next hypothesis. Learner. My idea wasn't accepted. Coach. Great, now let's experiment with this new angle. Play back and internalize that supportive, opportunity-driven voice. By adopting an opportunity mindset, pivoting, experimenting, and celebrating iterations, you transform each rejection into a powerful catalyst for innovation in your English fluency journey. Sustaining fluency through rejection mastery. In this final installment, we'll weave together insights from parts 1 to 9 into a cohesive practice plan. You'll craft your personal rejection mastery playbook, establish long-term habits, and set a 90-day roadmap to maintain fluency, resilience, and growth. Creating your rejection mastery playbook. Compile the following sections into a dedicated notebook or digital document. Section are key vocabulary and reframes across contexts: social, professional, public speaking, digital. Section B, mindset strategies, emotion labeling, growth lens, visualization, affirmations. Section C, drill scripts, listening, shadowing, Passages, speaking prompts for tough scenarios. Section D, reflection templates, journal prompts, 7-day challenges, peer partnership outlines. Review and update this playbook weekly, adding new insights and drills as you encounter fresh rejection. Scenarios, establishing daily and weekly routines. Daily morning affirmation and visualization to 3 minutes. 1 micro practice, record a corrected sentence, send a follow-up message, or deliver an impromptu mini speech. Evening reflection journal, 1 rejection received, 1 lesson learned. Weekly peer resilience check dash and dot review playbook updates, add new vocabulary and drill passages. Host or join a mini workshop. Practice public speaking or mock interviews in English. Plan next week's micro goals based on recent feedback. Building a 90-day rejection mastery roadmap. Break the next 3 months into 12 weekly focuses. Week 1 to 2, master emotion labeling and daily affirmation. Week 3 to 4, deepen listening and shadowing drills for varied rejection scenarios. Week 5 to 6, strengthen speaking refrains in social and professional contexts. Week 7 to 8, host live practice sessions, peer interviews, group dialogues. Week 9 to 10, refine digital presence, post content, engage with feedback. Week 11 to 12, capstone showcase, deliver a public presentation applying all resilience tools. At the end of each week, evaluate progress, celebrate milestones, identify challenges, and adjust your plan, leveraging community and accountability. A small mastermind group of 3 to 5 learners to rotate, hosting rejection resilience sessions. Use shared digital boards, e.g., Trello, for tracking micro goals and feedback loops. Pair up for weekly role-play check-ins, ensuring mutual support and fresh perspectives. Sustaining momentum beyond 90 days. Set quarterly reviews, revisit your playbook, update strategies, and refine vocabulary. Aim for progressive challenges, a speech at a meetup, a published article, or leading a workshop. Mentorship, offer guidance to newer learners. Teaching others reinforces your mastery. Final reflection and vision, write a letter to yourself dated 90 days from now. Describe the resilient speaker you've become. The new opportunities you've seized. The confidence you feel in any rejection scenario. Seal it and schedule a reminder to read it on that future date, celebrating your transformation. Closing affirmation block. Out a moment today to speak aloud. I transform every rejection into my next breakthrough. Carry this affirmation with you daily as a testament to your unwavering progress. Congratulations on completing this series. You now have a master plan to not only withstand rejection, but to flourish through it, elevating your English fluency and your life. Thank you for learning with Decode Your English. Keep practicing. Stay resilient and let every no guide you toward your greatest growth. ****